Hi dear all students, how are you? After a long time we are in front of you through this online teaching purpose. I am Mrs. Swati Abhijit Dere from St. Xavier High School, Srirampur, in front of you for teaching of your favorite subject like last year. Yes student, for 6th standard also I am teaching you math subject. Due to coronavirus, it may be not possible to visit us for school purpose to avoid our academic year loss, as we already in touch with each other for the home exam, online home exam, as well as we done all the work of last academic year. This current year also you will not miss any part of teaching. So this year also, dear student, I am your maths teacher. Hope so you will enjoy my teaching. Your 6th standard maths is a 100-mark subject for which you have to prepare 200 pages notebook for your first term. So dear student, have a look on your index of 6th standard. See here, content index is given here, which is divided into two parts, that is part 1 and part 2. In part 1 we have total 9 lessons, and in part 2 also we have 9 lessons. So this part first we use for our first term syllabus. Let us start through this online teaching our first lesson of standard 6, that is basic concepts in geometry. Are you ready for this interesting journey all? Okay, let us start. See dear all, basic concepts in geometry. As an introductory part I will tell you our math subject till your 8th standard we are say to this subject as a maths, but 9th onward this subject is divided into two parts. The first is algebra and second is geometry. But for your 6th standard math syllabus, your full book index is always a combination of algebra and geometry. Out of this is your first lesson, which is based on geometry, for which you have to use your compass box, that is your instruments. For drawing diagram, wherever you are drawing diagrams, constructions in your notebook, please use proper instrument like scale, pencil, rounder, etc. whatever we require. Let us have a look to start our lesson basic concepts in geometry. Geometrical shapes are prepared with some basic points. Let us learn that one by one, which diagrams are used for what purpose and what is name of that particular diagram. So first diagram, any plane surface, any plane surface where you are drawing diagram, it's in front of you. On that surface we are using a tiny dot. Suppose here I will write your diagram, and this side we write the name of that diagram. You also prepare in a short note this important chart in your notebook. This is the starting of your first lesson in your notebook. Start with a good handwriting, excellent work since it have marks. Point. Any tiny dot on a plane surface drawn anywhere is represented by capital alphabet. Whole ABCD is yours. You can use any alphabet to represent that point name. So the point is read by the point name. Suppose for example this is point A. So this tiny dot we have to read as a point A. So name of diagram is here point. It's a point. Dot means here point. Number first. Number second, line segments and lines. Line segments and lines. See dear students, if you draw two dots at a particular distance in any direction, that may be straight, that may be going down, that may be going horizontal or vertical direction, no matter, if you join that 2 points with the help of scale. I am drawing with hand dear all, you please use all instruments. This point if I say point P and point Q, so this line segment is having particular perfect measurement which start with point P from your scale first line and it end to particular distance, that may be in millimeter or centimeter. The joining of these 2 point P and Q, this line drawing become a line segment. It's called as a line segment. It's called as a line segment. If a line is end with, it's called line segment, but if you draw ahead and show arrow to both sides, when you show the arrow to both the end point, this line can increase in any direction, maybe to left or maybe to right. So these are the line segments and lines. This is also called as a line which can be increased from both the sides. This particular perfect measurement is called as a segment. This is called as a segment. So line and line segment concept, I hope you clear. The next is point 4. If you are showing at a particular direction only a arrow, a line is starting from perfect point and it goes in any direction. I am drawing straight forward way, and if we end with an arrow at only one direction, the line only in a one direction, we have to rename or name it at point P, for example I gave, and if I wrote here PQ, but I shown arrow at one point only, either to left or to right, this diagram is known as a ray. These are the rays. It's called as a ray. R-A-Y. Ray means a arrow. It may be called as a arrow. It start with origin and go in any direction. So the ray PQ is read as ray PQ. How to read this ray? Ray PQ. While writing, your answer will be like that. I hope you understand this all the points. And one more point is the planes. Planes means a plane surfaces. Suppose a table desk is there or a blackboard is there. Then this plane surface, this is a surface where you can write, you can keep anything, that is called as a plane. That is called as a plane, not aeroplane. It's a plane surface. We can write on that. Understand here all? Then one more concept is there. The sixth one is called as a parallel lines. Parallel lines. There are number of lines if they are drawn with a same distance between them, and that lines are not touching to each other. The lines which lie in the same plane but do not intersect. Intersect means touch. The parallel lines never touch to each other. For example, we are looking the grills of the window. Grills of the window maybe in horizontal direction, number of lines are there. Vertical direction also, number of lines are there. But the horizontal lines not touching to each other, all vertical lines also not touching to each other. These types of lines are called as a parallel lines. Parallel lines. So these are called as a parallel lines. Understand? So you also prepare like this chart on your notebook, and we can say one more last concept, the intersecting lines. You will write down this chart as it is in your notebook on the first page as a short note. How to read these all lines? Only last one line is remain there. I will show here that. Number 7. That is your number 7 is here. Intersecting line. Suppose I am drawing one line in this direction and I am drawing another line in this direction. Suppose this is line L and this is M. When this L line and M line, they cross to each other at one point, we may say point O. When they are joining to each other at one particular point, maybe in any direction, the lines, both lines are called as intersecting line. Intersecting line. So perpendicular lines are always intersecting lines. So it is called as a, these two lines are called as a intersecting lines. I hope so you understand all these basic lines. So that these are your short note as a today's assignment for writing purpose. Now let us all, this doubt you're clear. If not, it will be more clear in practice set first. This small lesson, only one practice set is there. So let us start with our practice set first. Students, I will take your question number first from, after writing a short note on a new line, you will give heading new page practice set 1 and write down question as it is. I will draw the question number 1 diagram on board and will write answer of each question. Are you ready? So dear all students, here is our diagram of first question. I drawn the diagram with hand only, but you please use scale and pencil. First question is that look at the figure alongside and name the following. Sub question number 1, they ask us collinear points. Let's clear first concept that what is mean by collinear points. Collinear means all points in a same line. All points coming in a one straight line, that are called as collinear points. Let's observe the line here. You can use the full line. If you start with O point, the starting from O to that particular point, that are the various rays in this diagram. They are rays. So we have to highlight first the lines, full lines. That is you can observe the colored part here. And one more full line is there. Diagram observation is very important here all here. These two lines are there. You read these lines as a line MT and line RN. Through these collinear points, which are the collinear points? On this first line, which point are all collinear points? Point M, point O, point T. So your answer is here point M comma, point O, comma, point T. And on this RN line, point R, point O and point N. Point R, comma, point O and point N. These on these two full lines, straight lines, these 3 points are collinear points. Number 2 is here rays. They ask rays. We have to give the names. So this is a question and our answer is rays. How many rays? From origin point O, you have to go maybe clockwise or anti-clockwise and write down all the rays. Write the answer. Ray, first ray. Say with me, ray, O-P. So write here, ray, O-P. Write the capital alphabet, comma. Second ray. We are writing one ray, so ray. If you are writing number of, we have to write rays. So here, ray, O-N. Go clockwise. Ray, O-N. Ray, O-T. Ray, O-S. Ray, O-R. Ray, O-M. You may go clockwise, you may go anti-clockwise. So these are the rays. Number of rays in the given question. So you will have a look, write as it is in your notebook. Zoom it and you copy, or you will try by your own way. Third question, sub question is that line segment. Line segment. So in this diagram, there are how many line segments are there? You have to mention there. Line segments with starting with one line and end with other point. Starting with one point and end with another point. That are the two lines. So here we have to write answer line segments as a seg. You have to mention it as a seg empty, seg empty, and seg rn. Seg rn. Segment empty and segment rn. And lines, number 4 is here lines. But lines are same way again, line empty, line rn. Line empty, line rn. So these are the various points. Have a look on these points. Question number 3, they ask line segment. As I wrote full segment MT and RN, as well from origin O also, if you count this O to P, O to N, these are also your segment. So you mention that segment also in that, and before that you write seg OP, again go clockwise, seg OP, seg ON, seg OT, seg OS, like this way, seg OR, seg OM. So all these are called as a line segment. The starting point and end point, which segment have, they are called as a segment. And you can go clockwise for that writing as well anti-clockwise. So from this diagram, we wrote answer for sub 4 questions. Please complete your answer of question number first. Write suitably question. Write draw diagram with scale and pencil only. No use of pen in the diagram as every year instructions. As well as write in a clean handwriting in a suitable way, more clear than me. All you dear, I hope you understand this first concept of geometry, basic concept of geometry lesson. In this video, I told you copy this as it is in your notebook short notes and question number 1. Next part of a video, I will complete question number 2, 3 and 4. So I will suggest you in this difficult situation, in this crisis, remain at home, remain safe, wash your hands frequently, remain safe yourself, avoid going outside, safe with your family members, and hope so will visit as early as possible. Let us again visit for the next part for ahead questions to complete our lesson. Have a nice day all of you. Bye bye.